Let's take a look at how to apply the percent equation to various examples. So what we want to remember is that in percent problems, vocabulary is very important. The word of means multiply in percent problems, and the word is means equals or put an equal sign. So in example 1, let's translate this from English into what I call Mathglish. What is 15% of 23? So we have both of our key words in there, is and of. So is represents the equal sign, of represents multiplication. And so if I wanted to write this as a math equation, the word what represents a variable we don't know. So I could say p or I could say x. Because we're talking about just a variable we don't know, you can select whichever letter you'd like. So I'm going to say x is, which represents the equal sign, 15%. And so in the last few videos we talked about how to convert percents back into decimals, and so we would move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So for this one, 15% would become 15 hundredths or 0.15. Of represents multiplication, 23. So that means that I'm going to multiply 15 hundredths or 0.15 times 23. And when I've completed that, that's going to tell me what number is 15% of 23. So I need to do this multiplication here with decimals. If it's been a little while, you go ahead and just put down the decimal number and put down the number you want to multiply it by. And we're going to pretend like that decimal number isn't there when I do the multiplication, and then at the end we're going to use the number of places following that decimal point as our guide for how far we need to move the decimal point over to the left in our answer. But for right now I'm going to ignore it. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm going to add 1. That's 4. 2 times 5 is 10. I already carried the 1 from the last problem. I can leave it there. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And so 345 would be the number that would pop out if this was just 15 times 23. But because this is 15 hundredths times 23, what I'm going to do now is move the decimal point over 2 places because my decimal answer up here has 2 places. So I'm going to get 3.45 for my final answer for x. So x is equal to 3.45. So again, where this 2 decimal point move comes from is I look up in the actual multiplication problem and I see how many places follow the decimal point. Because there were 2 decimal places up here in this part of the problem, then that means I needed to move the decimal point over 2 places to the left in my final answer.